Welcome to Flick Club. It's like a book club, but for movies. I'm Taft the Man, and on this channel, we're going to discuss awesome movies. In my Peacemaker video, I mentioned how Jean Claude Van Damme is one of the staples of 90s action. And at some point, I'm also going to have to talk about my love of John Woo directed movies. So today, as a compromise, we'll talk about Hard Target. If I'm being honest, the plot to Hard Target doesn't really matter. But here goes. Rich people play to hunt the ultimate game, human beings. And the movie opens with a guy being hunted and is eventually killed. This movie kind of made me wonder about New Orleans in the 90s because how is there a group of people hunting other human beings, killing them, and there isn't a single witness?
If he makes it to the river, he's won. We cannot allow that to happen, Mr. Lopaki.
So this woman, Nat, her father's the guy who's hunted down and killed in the beginning of the movie, but she doesn't know this. As far as she's concerned, her father is missing. After Boudreaux, Jean Claude Van Damme's character, saves her from some muggers and potential rapists using some martial arts kicks, she hires him to be her guide in New Orleans as she searches for her father. He was a Vietnam War vet and homeless. This incidentally made him the perfect subject for those rich men's hunting racket. Because him being a combat veteran would make the hunt challenging, but being homeless, nobody would come looking for him when he inevitably died. Eventually, Nat finds out her father is dead, and the police say it happened in a building fire. But Boudreaux, he isn't so convinced. He goes sniffing around the crime scene and finds evidence that suggests Nat's father was killed. He also gets attacked by goons sent by Van Cleef and Fouchon, the bad guys of the movie. They don't like that he's been sniffing around their whole operation, unknowingly or not. A mutual friend of Nat's and Boudreaux's gets killed in that hunting game, and they go to confront the sleazy phone sex businessman who hired him. Unfortunately, they're too late. They find that Van Cleef has gotten to him first and has blown his brains out. A classic John Woo shootout erupts in all its slow motion glory. Van Damme kicks a guy off a moving motorcycle, he runs away from an explosion in slow motion, and the whole action sequence ends with him and Nat jumping off a bridge onto a moving train. Nice! I told you the plot doesn't really matter. So now the hunt is on, and Van Damme is the hard target. He and Nat escape into the swamps of Louisiana to go and hide out at his uncle's place. His uncle is some eccentric old French guy who lives in the middle of nowhere brewing moonshine and exercising his Second Amendment. There's a hilarious part in this movie, my favorite part really, where Van Damme punches a rattlesnake unconscious. Boudreaux decides to lead the bad guys to some abandoned factory/warehouse for carnival things. This is where the final showdown happens. And again, I have to mention John Woo's flair for over-the-top yet mesmerizing action set pieces. Those familiar with John Woo will spot some of his staples. The hero shooting using two guns. A moment where the hero and the villain lean back to back on a wall and exchange some banter while reloading their guns. And of course, lots of explosions. So Boudreaux dispatches the bad guys in inventive ways, and he, his uncle, and the girl walk off into the sunset. I think Hard Target was the first John Woo movie I ever saw, and there are fewer action directors I admire more than him. I will watch a movie simply because it was directed by John Woo. Face Off? Check. Mission Impossible 2? Check. Broken Arrow? Ooh, I'm definitely going to do a video on that one. And don't even get me started on his Hong Kong movies. I honestly think I need another video series just for my love of classic Hong Kong and martial arts cinema. But I digress. Hard Target is about as 90s as it gets. Van Damme has a mullet, which always looks perfect no matter the situation he's in. The villain, Van Cleef, is always smiling menacingly, almost cartoon-like. It's no wonder Arnold Vosloo, the South African actor who plays him, would later on play Imhotep the Mummy in the 1999 classic, The Mummy. The music in Hard Target cracks me up because it's exactly the type of thing you'd expect a non-American director to pick. It sounds like what a non-American thinks sounds American, if that makes any sense. The movie is set in New Orleans, so there's a lot of jazz and blues in the soundtrack, but because it's a 90s action movie, you also have crazy soft rock guitar solos. It's absolutely ridiculous and I love it. Yancy Butler, who plays Nat, is beautiful. She has that Brooke Shields, Denise Richards kind of look that was a hit in the 90s, and unfortunately, that's all she really is. A pretty face who starts off as an easy on the eyes plot device, but eventually just ends up sort of just there. But that is typical of these types of movies. All in all, this is a movie I highly recommend, and I give it a 9 slow motion doves out of 10. For those who don't understand the joke behind the slow motion doves, watch more John Woo directed movies and you'll see what I mean. If you like the content I make here, support the channel by subscribing. And don't forget to drop a like when you find a video that you like. Also, invite family, friends and other movie lovers to subscribe to the channel.